Hey guys, just today at 3 p.m. Central, we have Cemetery Man, Dead Alive, and Dawn of the Dead wax melts, all handmade in my house, along with our brand new pumpkin marshmallow handmade candles. These smell amazing. 3 p.m. Hey guys, what is going on? This is your old pal CHH, and boy do we have something interesting to talk about today. As you guys know, Texas Chainsaw Massacre is, in my opinion, the greatest horror film ever made, and there's been a lot of sequels. We talk about the Halloween family tree, but there's no doubt that the Texas Chainsaw family tree is the most bizarre. It's just new branch after new branch. There's not a lot of continuation. Technically, there's not really a part 3. I mean, there is actually a part 3, but even Leatherface Texas Chainsaw 3 really kind of goes after the first film. And half of that is because the movies move around a lot. That's one reason why we never really had like a giant box set. We've got New Line involved in some. We've got Dark Sky with others. We've got MGM with some. We've got, you name it. I don't even know what Texas Chainsaw 3D is. That might have been Lionsgate. Like, it's been all over the place. Why does it move around a lot? I don't know. But the interesting thing is, a lot of people seem to be interested about it. I'm going to go over which studios are interested in this, and we're also going to talk about what some of the behind the scenes is on this, and what do I think? And what do you think? Where should this series go? That's going to be a fun discussion. So, Discussing Film on Twitter actually gave the list of it, and then we're going to go to Deadline because they actually got some more details that I didn't know about. But the studios that are supposedly involved are as follows: Jordan Peele and Monkey Paw, Taylor Sheridan with Paramount, Osgood Perkins with Neon, Glenn Powell with A24, and Netflix as well. Now you may be saying, that's weird, Netflix already put out a Texas Chainsaw film. Now, from what I understand, Netflix didn't produce that film, but they simply bought it. I could be off on that, but a lot of people are saying already, don't give it to Netflix, they already ruined the first one. If my memory serves, I heard that they just bought the film. It didn't go to theaters, they just ended up buying it. I could be off on that, but that's what I recall. So let's go to Deadline and kind of read up about this. Let's kind of go through what they say. There are no clear frontrunners in the bidding war. However, new creative parties have emerged with a passion for the project. Myriad notable creative entities have teamed with studios to pitch Verve and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre rights holders on their vision for the notorious killer Leatherface. I hate this already, notorious killer Leatherface, who uses his chainsaw to go on a cannibalistic killing spree. Since we first told you about the project, Taylor Sheridan's name has gained steam as having interest in the property. At this point in time, Sheridan would only serve as a producer on a future Texas Chainsaw project. No surprise that he's interested, as Sheridan was raised in Texas. That's one thing. We're talking about him being a producer. I saw some people saying, I don't know if Sheridan would direct this film or not. Well, there you go. It looks like he'd probably be a producer. In regards to Oz Perkins' vision of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, we understand that Long Legs filmmaker would only produce and co-write with Brian Bertino. Well, there you go. Not an Osgood Perkins directed one. Bertino, who directed the original 2008 The Strangers, would helm this particular version of Leatherface should Neon win rights. That's important. I didn't know about that detail, but we're going to go back to this in a second. Because I have two companies that I want it to happen, and the other ones, I don't. We first reported, separately, we first reported that Strange Darlings, JT Molnar, and a Minecraft movie and weapons producer Roy Lee were kicking the tires. We understand that it's a TV pitch aligned with A24, and we will have Austin native Glenn Powell involved, but not starring. Separately, Lee has a feature film pitched for Texas Chainsaw that would be set up at Netflix. So my worry is this Lee's guy might get his hands on this, because I think he'll probably get the funding. Jordan Peele's Monkey Paw is another new party to emerge with an eye on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, also in its producing capacity. Monkey Paw has a production deal at Universal. That means he's got money behind him. So, as you guys can see, we'll leave it right there for Deadline. As you guys can see, there's clearly a lot of people involved with this. Let's kind of go through them. Let's start with Netflix. Is there an issue with it going to Netflix? Yes and no. So here's one thing I'll say. I don't know why this wasn't reported, but clearly, I believe this now. I mean, I don't think it was reported officially on by Netflix or anything. There was a lot of speculation on why this film wasn't really pushed on Netflix when it came out. As a matter of fact, I do remember, I think I had to actually search the film when I pulled up Netflix on the night of its launching, of its release. But I was hearing speculation, I was seeing some reports, it might have been from Bloody Disgusting, I'm not remembering too much at this point, that the film actually was seen like close to like 2 million times or something fairly quick upon its launch on Netflix. I think a lot of people definitely watched that movie. The question of whether you liked it or not, that's always going to be up for debate. That doesn't matter whether it's from a studio or straight to streaming. Here's the negative about Netflix. They don't do physical media. We know that this film has never come out. I have a homebrew, bootleg, whatever the hell you want to call it, for the film. And the problem is, a lot of people that are horror fans are physical media fans. Not only that, I think a lot of people want to see a Texas Chainsaw film in the theaters. The theaters are back in a big way. Theaters are kicking ass right now. The experience at the movie theater, I think, is improving in more ways than one. They're making it much more of an experience type thing, especially with the popcorn buckets. Yes, people can crap on that, but the fact is, it does get people excited. It does get them in the door, and it helps the business of movie theaters. And unlike their popcorn, a lot of those buckets are actually fairly priced. Most of them. Some of them can be expensive, but most of them are around $20-25, and you get popcorn with them. So there's always the idea of, man, could you imagine a Texas Chainsaw bucket for popcorn? That won't cost $300. Looking at you, Dark Sky. Or a Leatherface kind of a pumpkin head thing, or a bucket head thing, whatever. Like, could you have a lot of fun things to go there. Netflix, I don't want it all. Let's go to Jordan Peele's studio now. Now, if he gets it and they get the deal, because like I said, he's got the backing with Universal, it looks like, I wouldn't be so upset, but he's not my first choice. I mean, Jordan Peele is definitely a genuine horror fan. I have a lot of love for Jordan Peele. I think he's hysterical, and I think he's made some good films. The thing about Jordan Peele, though, that I think is he has created such this unique sector in horror with his movies, that for him to start doing stuff that's mainstay titles, I don't know if it would benefit him or hurt him in the long run. Look at David Gordon Green, for example. He did 3 Halloween films, then he was going to do 3 Exorcist films. His Exorcist got horrible ratings. The general audiences, I don't even think really liked it that much, and the critics hated it. Or at least from everybody I talked to, hated it. And, I mean, clearly the film did not get the reception that they thought it would, and probably not even the box office. Where is David Gordon Green now? We haven't heard from him. It was detrimental for his career to say he was going to tackle 3 Exorcist films. I think Jordan Peele, personally, should continue to create unique, original films, because I think that's where he's going to ultimately shine. And I'll be honest with you, probably make his most money. I really do. But if he gets it, not the end of the world. With Universal, we'll clearly get a big movie probably, and it'll probably go to the theaters. That sort of thing. And who's to say that he would even direct it? Jordan could decide he wants to produce and get somebody else to direct. We don't know. I'm not going to speculate on all that now. Not my first pick, not the end of the world either if he gets it. Let's go to A24. This is the controversial one for you guys. I'm going to say this. I don't want A24 to get this whatsoever. They are the ones I want the least to get it. You're probably asking why, Christian. That seems a little interesting. First off, they've already got their hands full with Crystal Lake. They need to focus on that, in my opinion, especially when it comes to taking care of a property as big as Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You could argue that Friday is even a little bit bigger. I'd say probably so. And I'm going to be honest with you. They've already kind of gotten that Texas Chainsaw itch done for me when it comes to Jordan Peele's X. And I think a lot of people are already... I mean, not Jordan Peele's X, Ty West's movie X. And I think a lot of people are already going to compare whatever they do Texas Chainsaw to that movie. And I thought X was fantastic. It scratched that itch of that kind of, southern vibe, in the woods, backwoods style stuff. I loved it. I don't want I'm not interested in A24 doing this. I'll be honest with you. I still have a lot of hesitancy. And here's the other thing. What if this Crystal Lake show is not handled well, and a lot of people are saying we wish that somebody else would have gotten this. We wish that somebody else would have gotten the rights to Crystal Lake instead of this. We wish that it would have been Paramount or somebody. Now you don't like the show, and now you have to worry about what they're going to do with Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Too much risk. Way too much risk for me. A24 is not my number one. We have 2 more to talk about. Next up, guys, let's go to Neon. And this is where I say this is a great scenario, because I think Neon has really presented themselves as a forerunner of quality films that can be challenging to the audience. They're not the most simplistic films, but very much commercial. Long Legs, I found, would be very much a, like, I would not unrecommend. I would recommend Long Legs to anybody. That's a movie I would say, no, you got to see this film. It's really interesting. The Monkey, recommend that film to anybody to see. It's got a grand appeal. It's got an interesting premise that people can relate to. Neon makes quality films that can be a little challenging, but they still are for everybody. A24 films are not for everybody. And listen, this is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So I could see Neon doing a great job with this, especially the guy that directed The Strangers. That guy knows suspense, and I think Texas Chainsaw needs to be suspenseful. My number one is going to be Paramount. The Sheridan guy, I think, listen, he's not really what I'm interested in. I'm interested in Paramount doing this because I'm going to tell you guys something. Paramount knows how to market and franchise stuff. Clearly, they do. Like, let's not forget, they turned Paranormal Activity to a franchise. They turned, what else? They turned Friday the 13th into a huge franchise. Paranormal Activity has as many sequels as I think Friday does, almost. There's a lot of Paranormal Activity films. For me, that's a good thing, because I think that Paramount can make this a huge blockbuster event. And the event, for me, is as important as the movie. I want to be able to enjoy the press. I want to be able to enjoy the momentum before the movie comes out. And for me, I know this for a fact, Paramount loves physical media. So if Paramount gets their hands on this, you do not have to worry about physical media. Some of these other companies, probably not. I would say Neon, probably not. A24, probably not. But Paramount is going to do the bells and whistles. They're going to have a lot of stuff for this. There's going to be fun marketing for this. For me, I think Paramount is the best case scenario for the kind of fan I am. Somebody that wants the big commercial, blockbuster type movie that is going to be straightforward. There's not going to be a lot of weird stuff going on in this. And it's going to be a big thing that's going to be in the theaters. There's going to be physical media for this. They're going to bring this out. There'll be 4Ks, Blu-rays, Steelbooks, the works, and maybe even some really fun stuff, because Paramount still does physical media in a big, big way. That's my personal taste. Now, some people could say, well, I'm not really a fan of the Sheridan guy's style. Totally get that. But for me, I'm looking at this as a whole deal. I want Paramount to get this. That's my number one pick, with Neon being right behind it. So that's my thoughts on this whole thing, guys. Let me know how you guys feel about all this down below. Let me know where you want Texas Chainsaw to go, and more importantly, where you don't want it to go. It's going to be an interesting time, but I'm glad that there's movement in Texas Chainsaw. This is very exciting that people are bidding for this. Thank you guys for watching this video. I appreciate it, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Huge giant thank you to all of my Patreon supporters. Without you guys, this would not be possible. To get behind the scenes photos, videos, music, private live streams, and much more, you can subscribe to my Patreon for as little as $1 a month. Thank you to my patrons.